Hello. All right. We have some actual work stuff to do today. Exciting. Hope everyone's days are going well. Yeah. So, trying to think about how I want to get started on this. Let me kill the remote desktop so I can't screw up and waste a bunch of data. But all right. Hey, everyone. So, today we're going to be working on this thing that I was sent. This is a Sharp PC-1251 pocket computer. We're going to be replacing the LCDs. I have brandy spanking new ones here, and it is plural. I buy two because, you know, in case I screw it up. And then I think it's nice to be able to have a second one to demo stuff with. So, Lucky Bob, thank you for the Prime sub there, and for 18 months. Yeah, I appreciate that. All right, well, so here's the thing. I'm going to be recording this to edit into a video. So we're going to have that fun, awkward little intro stuff going on there. But after that, pretty much just, you know, be normal again. Not an LCD collector. There's at least one kind of LCD I am desperately trying to get my hands on. And the fun fact is that you're going to think like, oh, it's a radius pivot or, you know, like some other weirdo high-end thing. It's not. It's like, it was unusual, but not like no one really cared. So it's, there's one I'm after. Main channel, this is going to be main channel. So it's a good point to ask because I have actually done this on the main channel already. I replaced the TRS-80 pocket computer LCD. But this one, it's basically the same thing. I will admit that. I'm going to retread a little bit, but there's a lot more cool hardware with this that we get to check out after it's working. So I think it'll be fun. But yeah, so a good rule to live by extra in case of problems. Yeah, in general, but downside is these are $20 each. So that hurts a little bit, but yeah. So, all right. I guess we can just get started. Feels like it's been a little while since I've recorded a video. I don't have one to release today because I've been spending the last 2 weeks just finishing the drive nonsense I had going on with my server. It's all, I'm going to say the stressful part of it's done now. There's some future planning things I need to do, but that is not going to be, it's not going to be as much of a problem. So it seemed like a thing from ages ago. Yeah, so that one was the TRS-80 Pocket Computer, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure it was the TRS-80 model. And it's going to be mostly the same process, but the thing about that particular machine is that I only had the computer itself, whereas this one, I was so graciously sent, and it comes with all of the fun accessory doodads here, and we're going to try and check out as many as we can. We'll see how far we get, because this might end up being more than just an LCD replacement. I mean, I don't want to say I hope that this ends up being a larger restoration, but there's, for the purposes of making a video out of it, it would be, maybe a little better if there was slightly more conflict than just I put the LCD in. But, I'm not hoping that. But we'll see how it goes. So, all right, let's go ahead and do some filming. Let me quickly make sure that there's not an invoice in this box. No, okay. All right. Let's record an intro. I can tell you've all been waiting for me to say that I'm going to start recording. Let's just get it over with. All right. Put this down. Wow, I can see the... No wonder every time my hair touches this thing, it gets covered in oil. I can see it oozing out of this band. Huh. Okay. Man, that feels like... I feel like I've seen the better future that I can't have now with that camera jib. That thing was so nice. And I'm watching this boing, 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 and there's nothing I can do about it. You guys can have that. Oh my gosh, what is the deal with that? No. Okay, hold on. Stop. No. We're not doing that. Hold on. Optical image stabilization. Blackmagic does not believe in that. One moment, I'm going to disappear, and then I will return. There we go. I just wanted this back in this corner over here, because that's the default way that Blackmagic does the corner view, by the way. It's really stupid. Anyway. What's wrong with the LCD? Oh, we'll get to that in a moment. I want to hang the camera jib from a track along the ceiling, though. It's just not gonna work. It just won't work. Straight up. All right. Hello there. Today...
Have you returned, or was it a line feed? And a line.
Hello. Oh my gosh. Hello there. Today, we're going to be taking a look at repairing this Sharp PC-1251 that I was so graciously sent. However, it has one minor issue. The LCD is completely roasted. That's not a polarization issue that you're seeing here. It's just black. Now, I haven't tried putting power to this thing yet, and we will do that later and see if it has any other issues. But I can tell you that this is not going to be a workable LCD. All right, hold on. We got to unpackage this. Because I was thinking, oh, we'll just open this here, but then I remembered that it's like wrapped in many layers of paper. Now, thankfully, as we have explored previously on this channel, this is no longer Now, thankfully, as we previously explored in this channel, this is no longer the death sentence that it used to be, because there are now reproduction LCDs available for these machines, thanks to Robert over on Tindy, and I will have this linked down below if you have one of these that needs repaired. So today, we are going to be installing a brand spanking new LCD in this, and yeah, that's the color that it should be, not black. All right, there we go. Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits. Okay. That's what its color's supposed to be. Yeah, exactly. Okay. I just need to reproduce HP4C lamp. That ain't gonna happen, unfortunately. As much as I would like that too. It's not gonna happen. And Flare Aspire, yeah, I am really sorry to hear that. That is always very tough. All right. I'm kind of intentionally waiting. You know what? It's fine. We're good here. Well, there's a thing. Here's some like actual behind the scenes stuff. Okay. I'll roll the intro and then I will screw up, and the clip after the intro actually needs a long lead in because of how the intro fades and blurs out. And I always forget to do that. So I need to leave a static shot like this before the intro, and I always forget. So here's me currently remembering to do that. Anyway. All right, now, like I mentioned, this is very similar to the TRS-80 pocket computer that I last did this with. However, this machine has a whole lot more going on, though this is just this part that is what we will be working on, at least theoretically. This has a lot more hardware in it, the printer, the cassette drive, probably a serial interface somewhere. No, maybe not, but there's a lot of cool stuff here that I'm hoping we can check out, and we are going to try to utilize this as the power supply. I do need to check if there are batteries in here. I don't think I did look for that when I unpacked all of the calculators that I was sent here, but let's see what we're in for with this and open this up, because I don't know exactly what this is going to look like in here, but I do know we're going to have multiple zebra strips to contend with to get this installed. All right. Yeah, I want to put something down. I was going to say the front of this is so rough, so there's not a whole lot of reason to protect it, but you know what? We might as well. Let's see. You know what? This will work. Hopefully there were no batteries installed. I am hopeful about that too. I can't believe I didn't think to look for batteries in this when I first cracked it open. I think I got distracted by the dock and I just didn't think there would be batteries in it. So that's on me there. I just want to even get a new LCD like that. Is there a piece week custom LCDs? So making LCDs isn't actually that difficult. So you design...
Subscribed at tier 1. They've subscribed for 3 months and says 3 months. Wow, I have one of these. LCD didn't give out yet, thankfully. End of line.
That's good, Sneaker Nets. And thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 3 months. I appreciate that. Not to belittle the project here, because they're honestly, I feel like the getting it manufactured and doing distribution and sales and all that kind of stuff is actually the harder part here. But to make an LCD, you essentially just need to come up with like a PCB design, like Gerber's, that has multiple layers for the inputs and outputs to the cells, and then you just put a slight charge to twist the LCD tube things that are inside of there. So you just send off those two-dimensional plans to someone to have manufactured. So you can still just get these made, you just have to know who to call to be able to get an LCD produced. So you don't make these yourself, that's for sure. But it's not like a total lost art kind of thing. Does there exist a plotter dock for this? No, the Electronica MK90's got that one up on it. Although I have yet to see it 92 materialize.
They've subscribed for 39 months and says donating to the HP4C lamp reproduction fund. End of line.
Cortez, thank you for the Prime sub. And for, oh gosh, 39. How did I get caught on my hand again? Jeez. 32, 7. That would be 4 and 3. 30. Sure, 39 months. I appreciate that. Yeah, Sneaker Nets. Yeah, the tons of those. Yeah. Well, Applied Science is on a whole other level because he has the hardware to do the ITO sputtering himself for the LCD. That's a little different. Okay. That's not even what I want out of the project where he did the ITO sputtering. I just want the vacuum chamber. All right. This one gonna fit? Yeah. Okay. All right. Hopefully we're not in for a rude battery surprise here. Okay. Also, I should pay attention to whether or not these are bespoke lengths for each side. No, they do not appear to be. Okay. So let's see. Do we have, yeah, that's the typical construction. It's almost like hinged onto the top here. And there is the battery compartment and empty. Sweet. So we're all good there. That's refreshing. You know, where does the other side of the battery connect to? That's kind of weird. It's,
they're waiting for you, Gordon, in the
vacuum
chamber. End of line.
Anything on the, so it's this. That's weird. I don't see how it connects to the other side of the battery unless there's like little tabs in there. Huh, weird. Anyway, so we've got a big capacitor there. It's like actually kind of really huge for this thing. But also a whole lot of internal infrastructure it appears that we're gonna have to get through to get to that LCD. So let's start digging, I guess. Ceramic resonator? Well, apparently that might be a crystal. I haven't seen one like that before. Interesting. Oh, they do go in different orientations. I'm an idiot. The batteries go in different directions. That's how it gets flow through. I'm used to having like a thing on the side that touches there. Anyway. Chloe Raccoon, thank you for the 100 bits there. And Swarm, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 17 months. Yeah, I appreciate that. All right. Yeah, we're going to fast forward this part. All right, what do we got in here? We got nada. All right, let me get a dry erase thing going here in case this ends up being a horrible project that makes me sad and goes on for multiple days. PC-1251. Serene, yeah. 12C shirt, my design. All of the shirts that you see for sale underneath of my videos are my own designs, yes. Okay. Well, let's see if we can figure this out. Use Linux on your main desktop, I assume temporarily for some reason. Because you're not in that totally real 10% of PC users that are using desktop Linux. Oh yeah, I definitely believe that figure that's going around right now. Big orange thing over here is the connector that plugs into the dock. So far, every single one of these screws seems to be the exact same size, thankfully. One moment. Okay, so after you get those out, you have something delightful to contend with here. Apparently, this just comes off of the button array. Yay! Oh, wow, you can really see how screwed the LCD is there. We'll look at that in a moment. Let me...
Markle subscribed at tier 1. They subscribed for 44 months. End of line.
That one does not go there. Hold on, I need to rebuild the keyboard here really quick, and then I'm going to put this back, and then I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm going to take a picture. I always forget the ever so wonderful aspect of working on these kinds of things, that all of the buttons are discrete. Let's just put that back and pretend that never happened. Okay, Marshall, thank you for the tier 1 sub there, and for 32, that's 48, so that's not it. That's 8, 32, 8, 44 months. I appreciate that. Yeah, no kidding, G-Pin. It's mostly the weird buttons that I'm concerned about making sure the order is correct in, and then maybe screwing up and putting the calculator numbers in telephone style or something weird like that. Oh my gosh, want to feel old? Young people working on that wouldn't know that there's a difference between calculator and telephone keypad ordering. Okay. So this time we're going to remove this and then don't shake. Get a good hold of it by the battery door thing. Oh my gosh. Come here. Oh God. Stop it. No, it's falling apart. There we go. Okay. Now. Ooh, that's fun. Okay. So I want this to be at least partially suspended. So I'm going to put it on my little grid thing there, which coincidentally, okay, that's kind of hilarious actually. These 3 spots all align for the most part with regions between keys. So it's not going to cause any issues. T2SDE and Raiders, hello and welcome. We are taking apart a Sharp PC-1250 because the LCD looks like that. It's really, really bad, and we're going to be replacing it with a brand new one here. I hope your stream went well. Okay, let's go back to the back side here and figure out what we can or can't. Oh gosh, there's a cable. Okay, that connects to the piezo, connected right there. And I think there's a little zebra strip. Yeah, oh, that's horrible. Why would you guys do that? Oh my gosh. Okay. So there's this, but then there's also, we're done with the screws, so I'm going to push this out of the way for now. Camera's decided it's too good for focusing. There we go. So I know we're going to encounter zebra strips for the ITO pads on this, which I can kind of make visible there, but I wasn't expecting it for board interconnects. Jeez. So, all right. I think I want to desolder those 2 wires though, so it's time for more documentation photos. Okay. Oh, at least it's good solder. All right, now I'm going to put this upside down because there's that zebra strip there, like I mentioned. And actually, you know what? I'm going to float this. It's funny, it's a bunch of Toshiba chips there. I'm going to float this on the plastic tub again here. That way it doesn't touch anything or collect dust on the zebra strip. What on earth is that? I think they needed to just run a couple more wires in their traces, and they're like, we give up. Let's just... Okay. Sure. Good job, Sharp. You know what's fun is I'm not seeing anything to do with the LCD yet. I think. Is it? No. So we've got a little metal tab here, and then. Oh, okay. It's starting to come back to me here. Yeah, so these kind of suck to replace, I am remembering. So we have these metal tabs that you can see poking through, and more particularly the ones there that wrap around the PCB and go to this metal shroud that's holding the LCD down. If I remember correctly, that is what applies the force to squish the glass to the zebra strip. I think that's part of the power switch there. So we will probably clean that with some alcohol and a melamine sponge, I think. But yeah, we're gonna have to bend these tabs up that are all around. I'm hoping there isn't one. Oh, well, that's delightful. Thankfully, it's not bent, but that is a tab under the volume wheel or contrast wheel. That's contrast, not volume. Thankfully, that's not bent, though. I don't think we have to touch that. That's just used for alignment. So, man, look at that poor LCD. Jeez. All right, let's start bending tabs, see what we can do. Yeah, wow, it is. So you see how it's kind of like purple smoky kind of thing going on there? So that's, I believe, the polarization layer glue kind of causing distortions. It might be possible to re-glue the polarization layer. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think it's likely because I feel like people will be doing that. You will see something somewhat similar on like ThinkPads, and it is possible to repair those LCDs, but I don't think this one comes apart as easily. This might be a worthwhile experiment to try it with, though. I will keep this panel and see at some point in the future, perhaps. Oh, I think we're going to have to heat it up no matter what. I seem to remember that being a thing for some reason. I don't remember why, but we'll see. All right, anyway, though, enough yakking. Let's start trying to bend these up, which I remember sucks a whole lot because they are extremely flush. So I do think my best bet is going to be getting the ones along the top row off and then bending out the panel to hopefully bend these up a little bit to make it easier. So we'll try and do that first. I am mildly concerned about this. I could remove it, but I don't think I need to, but I might. I don't know, we'll find out. Just unbend the bottom ones and slide it up, but that won't work because it has the alignment tabs down here. So that's not possible. Pointier tweezers, these are already really pointy. The downside of the tweezers being sharper is that they get bent and damaged more easily. So it's kind of a trade-off. I think coming in from the side just doesn't work. I do not have a plastic pry tool that is sharp enough to get under here. As much as I would like something blunter to not stab as deep into myself when this slips inevitably. Like, let me show you how much force it's putting on this. Okay, just give you a reference here. Look at how much the PCB is bowing on there. Okay, like look at that. Okay, these are clamped down tight. This is not easy to remove. They really did not want this coming off. So it's gonna not be easy to get a tool underneath of this to bend it down. They really bent the snot out of that. Like, I might end up chipping into the PCB to do this. I don't know. I don't want to. Is there any need for it to be clamped that hard? Yes, that's how it makes contact to the circuit board. Pokerator time? The Pokerator is not as sharp as those tweezers. I'm going to try the spooky solution. I don't think this is going to work either, though. Oh, wait. Okay. Ooh, that worked super well. I think the benefit that that had was being able to slide along and kind of either cut the circuit board or metal. I'm not sure. Whatever, I'll take it. We're still gonna have to clamp them down though. Works super well while being super scary. Yeah, that's not my favorite solution, but hey, it worked. And I didn't stab or cut myself yet. So we'll call that a win for now.
Chlorocoon says CHER 100 no blood is always a win unless configuring SCSI chains. End of line.
Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits. Highly recommend adding some super fine needle nose pliers like this to your tool set, by the way. They are really helpful. Oh, that method won't be needed on the other side. That's why I'm going the way I am here. Okay, so now that I have one side released, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bend this out, if I can get it to release without destroying the zebra strip, which is easier said than done. Because the zebra strip is right behind this, so I have to be super careful here. I'm just using the box cutter to give me something flat to press against. You know, I could use the tweezers too, that'll look less spooky. You know what? I am going to use the weird Pokerator, because I can get that wedged in there and then twist it, I think. Not that one. There we go. So this one has a flat wedge, but also a wire brush. So I can get this just barely in there and then twist it. Oh no, I can't because the plastic has already... All right, small flat blade screwdriver and hope for the best. Wow, it is really sticking to the PCB, geez. Try coming in from the other side. Ooh, I can see it releasing. No, release from the PCB, not the LCD. Be consistent. Oh, jeez. There we go. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to get so that you can see. And come on. Final stretch. You can do it. Yes. Boom. Okay. So now I'm going to bend this down, which will bend the tabs on the bottom side up. And then make it possible to release. So that side also has a zebra strip, but it seems like it was less of a pain in the butt. It's, I believe, has already released. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go with that. Now, they're all bent. I can just grab them, bend them straight up. Okay, that one sucks. There we go, that's better. Now I will try and release going the other direction. Or straight up. Straight up works as well. Beautiful. There we go. And that is the LCD removed. Okay, I'm going to call out that the digits go towards the bottom, but also I can't even see the digits on this. Huh. Okay,
Loracoo says CHEER 101 side of the contacts has a gap in the middle. Can you see that? End of line.
I can see it on the zebra strip, but it's not reflected in any other way. I'm pretty sure there's just, yeah, there's just contacts. Oh no, there might be a gap. I'm gonna try one other thing. So this is a circular polarizer, all right? I'm gonna put this on the lens. Okay. Well. That's cool.
CHER 100 look. Check is wearing shades. End of line.
Yeah, you can really see the damage on the other one at least though with that. How inconsistent and kind of like foggy it is. It'd be cool if we could see anything on that one though. Is there really nothing visible? Are there even segments? I don't know that I've ever seen an LCD that you can't see anything on. The guy with the blank LCD guy? Yeah, I know, right? Okay, for comparison, here's another one, all right? Okay, I guess we can't see anything on that either. So that is an indication, but perhaps it is the polarizer that's failing. Because we can't see squat on that. Zero indication. Okay. All right. So I guess that's our test. That LCD is very definitely bad. Okay, I might have one hint of the orientation on that. Check the seller's makers page. There is a chance that this white dot indicates something. But I have a second idea. I think it may be possible to see it in the ITO. Okay, so what you are seeing there in the reflection of the light are the contacts. Oh my gosh, hold on. Let me stop bumping this as much. There we go. So with a very careful alignment of the CPL and that light behind it, we can actually see the contact pads that will connect to the zebra strip there. And we can see the gap right there. So that should be our top side. So we should be able to look at that to know for sure whether or not we have it correct. So out of curiosity, yeah, we can actually see that there too. This one's a little easier to see even. So while we're in this close, let me explain how these zebra stripes work. So you see those little black dots in there? So those are actually columns that go all the way through a piece of silicone, and they provide vertical conductivity. So these are conductive in this direction, up and down, but they're not conductive next to each other. So you're able to lay this silicone strip down on top of the PCB here, and then only the pads that are meant to connect to the little contacts here do, because they connect vertically like that. And you can see that they'll get about 2 or 3 individual little tubes to connect to each pad, which is just enough to make the LCD work. They're not super high current devices. So that's how you connect glass to a circuit board, is you use the Z-conductive zebra strip like this. So that's what's going to be transplanted here as part of this process. We have to move this over. You can also see this is the part that was sticking where there are no contact pads, and it just had one really big flat patch that contacted the PCB. That's why it's stuck so much there. Gold contacts are remarkably clean and shiny. Yeah, they've never been exposed to air because I've had this thing on them the whole time. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the polarizer filter on. Try and get it at an angle about right there where we can kind of see the contact pads. So I'm trying to be extremely careful to not touch that side of the glass. And all right, so what we need to do next here, and then I immediately touch the glass. Okay, you know what? This is one of those rare times where I'm going to clean this and I'm going to put on gloves. So the finger oils getting in between the zebra strip and the LCD are a substantial problem. So I want to make sure that that does not happen. So I'm going to put the gloves on, and then I'm going to use some light alcohol solvent on there to clean that. And then I will be sure not to touch it again. No white felt gloves. I don't want little bits of fabric strands getting in there either. Okay, I want where are they hiding? There they are. Actually, while we're here, I might as well clean off the power switch contact as well. So I'm just going to use alcohol and some cotton swabs, and I'm going to go ahead and clean off everything here. 2x2 hands in black doesn't work. They did wash dirty. I immediately regret cleaning that first because it was super disgusting, and now that cotton swab end is ruined, but whatever. Okay. I don't believe I have touched the circuit board at all. Just kind of eyeball this. I don't know, I'm not liking these center ones. I'm just gonna run over that. I won't regret it, at least I think. Okay. No, I definitely haven't touched the zebra strip yet, so, okay. this side. Now the first thing I need to do is pop this out, which is glued in place. I think this is where I had to heat this up last time and I was less thrilled about it. So I think what we'll do, I'm going to peel the zebra strips out. And then if I have to heat this up, it won't be as big of a risk. Come on, let go. You've got a new LCD. It's even better and not as destroyed. You'll love it, I promise. Just let go. Huh. Pour the alcohol in the frame to soften the glue. I can try that. These should not be glued. They're just stuck. I don't want to get any solvent on these. Okay, that end is loose. Try and work from there. I really, really don't want to stretch them. That would be bad. There we go. Now it will be better to match these up to the correct sides. It will be paramount that I do not let this touch the workbench. So this is the top side, which I can see is over there. There we go.
Thrasher 976 has subscribed at Tier 1. They've subscribed for 14 months, currently on a 14-month streak. End of line.
Thrasher, thank you for the Tier 1 sub and for, what's it going to be, one hand, 14 months. I appreciate that. Everyone is allowed to put links in chat. That's not blocked at all. Okay, so there's one down. Let's break the other one free. Well, this side is loose. have to ask. It's rather lengthy. I mean, that doesn't mean everyone's going to click it. I'm not going to be able to do that while I'm live streaming. Ban the bot? I have no idea what bot you're talking about. Was it already... I don't know. Okay. Be really bad if it, well, you know what? I was going to say it'd be really bad if it tore. It actually wouldn't be the end of the world. Okay. Towards my thumb is the inside. Okay. Now, I'm going to put this off to the side, and I'm going to loosely cover it with this so dust and stuff doesn't get on it while we extract this, because this is going to suck. All right. So step one, I'm going to make it nice and flammable, and then we'll probably end up heating it up. So there's a glue underneath of this that is holding that panel down in place. And we're going to have to remove it. You know, I hope that's not an acrylic plate on the, right there. Because if it is boned now. Man, they really did a good job of forming this piece of metal. This is a fully stamped and rounded corner. It's not just folded over. So there's no gap to try and get underneath. I think the only way I can press directly on the LCD is right here. And if I try and do that with this, I am going to crack it 100%. Yeah, I was trying to twist it there. It's very solid. Like, I can see the the alcohol inside moving around as I twist it, but it's not, oh, that's soft and squishy now. That's cool. Love that. I think this is where we turn on the 3D printer. and pop this bad boy on the bed. Yeah. I was not anticipating doing this today, but I kind of forgot how stupid this process is. All right, 3D printer is starting up. I'm going to take off the... Oh, if I take off the gloves, I cannot put them back on. Oh, you know what? I don't even need the computer. I was turning on the computer. I should just be able to preheat the bed. Can I only heat the bed? Manual, back. It's going to want to preheat the nozzle too. That's the problem. Oh, I'm trying to reduce the temp the nozzle gets set to. Okay, the bed is heating up. Bacon zebra steak, yeah. Well, Sanity, I believe last time I tried this, what? Phone, fingerprint lock, glove. What? Okay. Well, it's not optical, Vamptonius. You have a fingerprint that isn't registered? I'm not sure what you mean. That's my own photo, Nicto. Thank you. Yeah, I guess I just wouldn't have thought that they would make it through. Also works through screen protectors. Oh, you know what? That makes sense. Yeah. Probably slightly fuzzy for that reason. Okay. So, wow, it is doing some things to it by heating it up. Look at that. That's kind of crazy. I don't think... No, it's not quite ready, but it's really close. Letting go. I'm going to let it heat up a little more. The other benefit to putting the alcohol in there is it acts as somewhat of a thermal conductive layer, but it probably evaporated super quickly to the point where it doesn't even exist anymore. So I'm probably completely wrong. All right, let's see if I can pop it out. Wow. Sucker is tough. Trying to bake the moisture out? No. Is that what's wrong with it? I never thought about that. That would be interesting. No, we're replacing it. I'm just trying to get it removed. I feel like the parking lot would be a lot. Oh no, it's getting really hot over there. Trust me. Okay, I think I should stop because it's no longer really visible. Yeah. Baking it works sometimes to reverse it. Interesting. I'd not heard of that. Okay, so as it cools down, it looks like it is starting to come back a little bit. But I would like it to get out. I would also like it to not explode. Dude, how? So, Majenko, here's the problem. What you're seeing here is not the actual LCD. There's a layer on top of it. So it's not, this is not the glass. I cannot press directly on the glass. Or else I would get something under there and like wedge it. And this is actually a layer on top. So I could try and peel this off and then get to it, and I really would like to not. Actually, I think we determined this is part of the polarization, isn't it? That's why we can't see the other one, I think, because we need that. That's one of the polarizers. So yeah, that's actually required if I remember right. Yeah, I remember this sucking last time, too. Tip of the needle through a corner gap? That's what I was saying. There is no corner gap. It's actually properly stamped. It's not folded over. The only thing that's here is this one dot. So I can press on one side, but it will just crack if I try and push through. That's too small. I mean, I can go let it heat up again and then try and press on it and see, but... This is not easy. You know, actually, I might be better off trying to press on it with one of these. These are my soldering iron tip cleaners. The tip on them is blunt instead of sharp like the tweezers, so that would provide a sturdier connection. Sim tray ejector tool, you know what's extremely hilarious is that I just saw one of those and then promptly lost it, but it was at home. So it wouldn't have helped here. It might be pin size. We'll try a couple of different options that are not the tweezers. I think the cleaner tips for the desoldering iron might work though. Pokerator and a hammer. At that point, why not just hammer? If we're going to be picking out bits of glass anyway, just cut to the middle, man. So, DJ, I was able to get alcohol around it because there are edges around it. That's not the problem. I mean, I could go put alcohol in it right now if I wanted to. While it's heating up. I'm sure getting alcohol nice and hot is a terrific idea. Just, there we go. But I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. Traditionally served at 100 degrees F. Well, this is at 71 Celsius. Air pressure into the hole. That's an interesting idea. I don't think it'll work, but I like that thought. drink alcohol, you can inhale it to get drunk. Yeah. I don't think you get drunk on this. I think you just skip straight to the brain damage. All right, I'm gonna pop it out again. We'll try pressing down on it. Oh, that's warm. Look how black it is. Jeez. Okay, which one of these is the ideal ramrod? That one's a little big. Go one step down. Come on. It says no. Well, that happened. Yeah, that's definitely part of the polarizer. Very, very definitely. We'll be putting that back on. Cool. Well, this just got easier to do. Well, you guys can kind of see that, but yeah, I think that's hosed. So now I can just get under here and pry on it, or just press on the glass. Which has cooled down a fair bit. Okay, I'm gonna go heat it up again. Man, it's still a lot more visible. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna go heat it up again because it cooled down pretty fast. It stuck to my glove, and then I tried to grab it, and then it didn't go smooth. While that's doing its thing, I'm an idiot. Still can't really see anything on it. Crack it.
GER 250. It's not a matter of if the blood sacrifice for a project happens, it's when. End of line.
It's when. Yeah, we use that as the extra conductive layer between the ITO and the zebra strip. Thank you for the 250 bits, Sleepy. We got out the last one without cracking it. I would like to repeat that. All right. I'm going to prep this and give it another try. Ow, ow, hot, ow, ow. Oh my gosh, it's so tight. Seriously. Slider razor. Pass. I don't have acetone here. I don't have a refrigerator here. You're not to be trusted with acetone? No, I don't have air flow through here. If the instant I opened a bottle of acetone, I would have to leave because it would just be in the air. Yeah, you know what's actually interesting about that, Deziac? So I was doing some cleaning today, and I decided I'm going to set up my box fan on the workbench here, just blowing across this room as I'm moving stuff around. Holy moly, that made the AC so much more effective. It was ridiculous. I am afraid there is something wrong with the central air ventilation. It's never going to be good enough to use acetone indoors, though. That would be insane. Dude. Must be really old, just like everything else in here. Ayy. That's why rent is cheap. Poor aircon. I know what's wrong with it. I just don't know how to fix it. It was something I was told by the landlords when they first came in here. Apparently, there are two sets of air filters. There are the ones that go into the drop ceiling vents, and then there's one that's in the air handler that I don't even know if I can get access to. And I think the air handler one is full because I have not changed the ones that are in here since I moved into the office, and they are still perfect. So I think that there is zero airflow going into them. At first I thought it was just, you know, clean air in here because I don't open and close the door a whole lot, so a lot of dust doesn't get in here, but no, it's been too long now. I am putting so much force on this. Poke your head up where the rats are? Nah, I think I'm good. No, obviously I have been up there for the cable runs. I don't know, I haven't done it yet. Am I trying to release from the frame? Yes, and I have tried heat, I have tried solvent. Hammer time? No kidding. The side that started separating? No side started separating. Nothing fits anywhere. No, that's not getting any bite at all. Nothing.
Emicat subscribed at tier 1. They've subscribed for 53 months. And says that's a pretty sharp PC you got there. End of line.
I'm a cat. Thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 52. Holy moly, that's so many. 48, 53 months there. I appreciate that. I know numbers. Hot air gun time? How is that different from the 3D printer bed? More heat? All right. 3D printer bed, I'm going to crank it up to 80. 83. We'll let it roast. Expand the metal housing? I can't. It's fully formed over. It's stamped. It's not bent. 80 Celsius, Desiac.
Schmide subscribed at tier 1. They've subscribed for 43 months, currently on a 43 month streak. And says the heat is on. End of line.
Sure, okay. Schmide, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 43 months there. I appreciate that. It's an 80 Siege's air temp for you. I'm pretty sure that's into the glue is soft temp, but fine, I'll crank it up to 100, see if the bed will even go that high. I don't know why the print bed would ever go that high, but... You trying to soften glue? Yes. Set temp to yes. You realize I have to touch it still after that. Use a towel, I guess. All right. Wooden stir sticks put on the glass? Not really. I have rulers, but it's not a lot of surface area. And because, you know, it's not 1994 anymore, all of my pencil erasers look like this. Yeah, I'm just going to use this to grab it off of the print bed, and then I'm going to use this to press down on it with my finger and hope for the best. Now your car radio would have a bad time? Have I got news for you? All right, here we go. Ow! Aha! Ugh.
Krellian says CHER 100
Whew.
you did it. Woo. End of line.
Not quite fully off yet, but I can probably work with this. Oh my gosh, let go! You know, it'd be really cool if my gloves would stop sticking to the glue on the outside. Boom. Ah, there we are. One old LCD. Gosh. Printer off. Oh. Break. Is the liquid crystal still in there? Who knows?
100 S-cores just in LCD2 shall be one. End of line.
Looks it. I don't think it's happy. Yeah, it really doesn't seem particularly happy about its life right now. It did not look that splotchy before. I wonder if some of the alcohol got in there. I'm talking about like the grainy texture to it. That's new. That didn't look like that before. So I don't think we're going to be fixing that one. Digitalize H. I think that one's hosed. Oh. Yeah, the real answer is it was never happening because I'm not going through this trouble of dismantling this thing again after this. Screw that. Ah. Gotta clean all the glue residue? Why? We can just leave it in there. What's the harm? Counterpoint, I leave the glue residue because it acts as a cushion to prevent the metal from applying uneven pressure to the glass on the new panel. Ugh. Okay. Well, that was a lot of excitement. Finally got it off by setting the printer bed to 100 degrees Celsius and then just really mashing on the old panel. I think at some point I managed to get alcohol inside of the liquid crystal because it's really like weirdly grainy and splotchy looking in there now, and it was not like that before. So I think the solvent managed to somehow leak between the LCD layers, which is really cool if you're working on something where you're actually trying to repair the LCD. But anyway, now we're going to put this one in. I believe the frame is mirrorable. I don't think there's a specific top and bottom, although I would wager that the piece of glue there probably goes on the top. The top has the gap in the ITO layer, and I can see that there. So this one goes right here, kind of, sort of get in there, please. And there we are. All right, I'm going to push the zebra strip kind of further in here. Hoping it gets slightly more even pressure when I go to bend those tabs down rather than just being pressed up against the edge. Okay, top side is there. This is the polarizer. We will be putting that back on. I may have unfortunately damaged it with the alcohol, but there's not a lot I can do about that. It still is polarizing, so at least there's that. Here we go. Putting this back on. It should put on... Actually, I can see I need to straighten this one out. This probably got bent while I was applying the pressure to pop the LCD out. This one is super bad too, yeah, okay. Make sure these are nice and straight. Okay. Top side there. So this way. And I think that's it. Yep. That's the correct orientation. Okay. So, one of the really fun things about this is that there's no real way of knowing if it's going to work without just putting it all back together. And these zebra strips can be kind of finicky for making really good contact. So we might be in for this for a little bit here at this point. So from here, for the video, I'm going to just keep working on massaging this in place and getting these clamped down until it's as good as I can make it. So we'll see how that goes. All right, there we are. I will record clamping this all down once, but yeah, I'm not kidding. There's a very, very real chance that we will be taking it apart and trying to adjust the zebra strips multiple times here because they really suck. All right, I think we should start folding down the tabs. I'm gonna go inside out. Why does the bottom not seem like it's poking through that much? I don't know. I'm just gonna do it and hope for the... It really doesn't seem right, though. Maybe that's fine. Oh, yeah, that sucks, Joey. Oh, no! Oh, God! You see that? It's not a crack. There's a protective layer on there I forgot to remove. Dang it. It could be worse. It's just, like I said, it's going to be like 12 different times we're going to be taking this off and on and putting it back together. And now begins the part where I slowly contaminate the zebra strips because I start getting distracted because I'm doing too much stuff. Also, it's ridiculously hot. Okay. Now we hope that the glass just comes out nice and easy. Because it's on the glue. Trying to decide how I want to handle the zebra strips. I think I just have to take them off. I don't think I have a choice here. Well, the good news is there's a chance that the glass, yeah, will separate from the peel. Like it just did. Well, that was... I think peeling the film just caused enough of a static charge that it caused a digit to show. Did you guys see that? All right. I'm getting a second thing of gloves. Also, I want to let my hands unprune for a second, so I'm just gonna go 0 gloves for a moment. Because it's hot in here. So it means the LCD already has a polarizer. Interesting, yeah. So maybe we don't want that other one on. Nobody look, I'm about to wash my hands with Windex. You know what? That was a bad idea. That was a really bad idea, actually. I shouldn't have done that. I could just feel the like grime of the sweat, but then I realized that my hands are extra permeable right now because of the humidity. Oh well. Yeah. And yeah, glove sweat. Yes, really, really badly. So I had them on for like an hour at least there. Probably better than washing. Yes, almost anything is better than using brake cleaner for anything. I cannot believe how many people suggested that I use brake cleaner for working on the typewriter. Oh my gosh. Of all of the like, we need to get past the point of using brake cleaner as like a general cleaning solution because it's horrible. Hold on, I want my hands to recover a little bit more before I put them back in the gloves. Ugh.
Laura Kuhn says CHEER 100 TK must have been mechanic time. Painter would have suggested Panel WIPE/brush cleaner. End of line.
Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits. Yeah, because turpentine is also so much better. Yeah, exactly. Comments all forget about soap and water. You know, my favorite part is how I also said that I was cleaning and blowing out the cams, and I had like 5 comments that said, oh, you should blow out the cams. It's like, not only did I mean, I didn't like specifically show it, it was a fast forwarded section, but I literally said it. Carb cleaner? No, none of the horrific aerosol solvents. You shouldn't be using any of those for just like everyday cleaner. Oh my gosh. My hands are still at that point where trying to put them back into gloves, they're just going to stick and they're not going to move smoothly. This is the mild downside of doing the 4-hour streams. There's no way of taking the like 20-minute break for something like this. Ugh. I'm mildly concerned that there are batteries in this thing, since it has an LED on it that's a slow battery. But I don't see anything that's easily serviceable. Not that that was particularly easily serviceable. Oh, intriguing. There's an expansion connector right there that I never noticed before. Okay. So you might be able to connect serial to that. Huh. use this time to remove glue from the frame. I really don't want to remove the glue from the frame. I was serious when I said I liked the idea of leaving it on there as a, I'm going to say cushion this time, but that's not the word that I'm trying to remember. It means to, like, an interface material for two things to make them compatible. Not gasket. A gasket is one of these. Oh, I'm getting farther from it in my head. Yeah, I'm not gonna get it. I swear it starts with a C. Oh, you can trust us to look after if you can step out for a while. Yeah, no. I just need my hands to get conform. That it's yeah, it's a layer to make them conform to each other more smoothly, something along those lines. Not quite cushion, kind of like cushion, but yeah. Yeah. Hands are getting better. Chem gloves, cotton gloves we wore underneath to help with the sweat. That's interesting. I wouldn't have thought to do that. It's getting close. What are the chances this just works in the first try? Please. I'll let you remove the LCD when you put it in backwards. Well, I never have to remove the LCD from the frame. That's a thing. Because the frame is reversible. So if I hold the frame, I put the frame up against the PCB here. So it can go on like that. That's the way that it went on the first time. But I can also take it off and then flip it around, and then it still goes on. Matter of fact, it almost went on better that way. So if it gets stuck backwards, it's not a problem. The problem with the tape is probably the same issue with this, where I was commenting, why does it seem like it's not going in far enough? It's probably because the thickness. So the vinyl tape might add too much thickness, and then the tabs won't fold over. There's a reasonable chance that the thickness on this from having been disturbed is higher. So there is that. Actually, on that, I think I'm going to put it on the opposite way I said I was going to. I'm going to put the top up here, because I think this part is the most damaged, and it would be the thickest part, but it's easier to wrap it around the top. All right, let's put the gloves back on. I think I'm going to get a cuticle infection from this. Cool. Oh, well. All right. More gloves. View hole exactly center. I'm pretty sure that's the same spacing on both sides. I could be convinced it's mildly thicker over there, but it could also just be a trick because there's no hole over there. So 6.5 and okay, so it's actually slightly thicker over there. Well, in that case, I'm gonna have to go back in the footage and actually see which way it was, because I don't actually know. I was just guessing. Okay, the strip was on the top. So that should be the top. All right, gloves and continue. Ugh, gloves. So awful. Yeah, that's one benefit of filming this kind of stuff. I take 60 reference frames per second. Also, benefit of having like an actually nice camera that makes it really easy to go back and look at stuff like that. Hate wearing gloves. All right. This is the top. That's the top. It goes in like that. Now, I am concerned because it has been exposed to open air. There could be dust and stuff on there. I'm going to clean it off one more time. Top. I need to flip this around because this is the top side zebra strip. And I'm going to be cleaning the exposed tops of these now as well, I think. Maybe the bottoms now too. Gosh. That went well. Okay, that one looks good. I can see hairs on there. Ugh. doing this because it's kind of bunched up on the other side. All right, I think it would be smart to air compressor the top. Just ever so slightly. Where do you source it? Yeah, you just, someone on Tindy who sells them, Robert. This is my second time getting LCDs from him. They work out quite well. They are horrible to install, but that's not his fault. It's just how they are. Okay, I can see the strip has the gap on the top side there. There's no way you guys are going to see that. Just trust me. This is the correct orientation. Okay, like last time, I'm going to start by bending over the middle, work my way out. Okay, I'm going to take off these gloves early in the hopes that they don't get wrecked, and that if I have to put gloves back on, I can, because I should be glove free from here. Ah, good. Thank you, Helen. Frames need to break out the high speed. I can record 120 frames per second, but only 1080p. Okay. Ugh. So something I'm doing here, I am always having 2 points of contact, so I'm resting this against my finger somewhere. Makes it much less likely to slip. Because I would rather not gouge a hole in the PCB. Okay, I've even there's a single active Pixel. Does it say not to put the polarizer layer back on, out of curiosity? Because I have a feeling I shouldn't. He wants to read directions, am I right? I'm going to not put it back on. Not that it matters. It'd be really easy to put that back on. Okay. Hope that isn't a pinhole leak of the liquid crystal. I don't know how it would be, because it would be in the glass. Okay, this is fun. I got to resolder the speaker on there. They don't say anything about the polarizer? Okay, I'm going to not put it back on because, like, we literally saw it. That pixel's just on now, it's fine? Yeah, sure. Okay, black above. Red below. And then zebra strip is probably screwed because, like, that's the dumbest possible place for one. All right. And then we hope we get it back into the chassis correctly. Yeah, it doesn't really well align. Still on. Here we go. None of the buttons jumped out. Why are you not going in? Ah! Oh. Well, that would have made life easier. Wait, is that like an add-on then? Is that more onboard storage? Does this thing got an upgrade? That'd be cool. Or I just completely hosed it because now there's a loose zebra strip there I gotta figure out how to deal with. These are just CR2032s, right? Maybe we try this separate from the dock. Actually, I think there is zero reason we couldn't power this up without the back on. Because we just use this to hold the batteries in place. So, all right. Doesn't say CR2032, but those are CR2032s. Okay, let's try it. Let me get some batteries. They may be in this. Nope, that would have been smart. Where are they? Uh-oh. In here? I think they're in this. Yes, they are. I don't think I need to open the new package. Maybe I need to open the new package. I have some loose test ones. No. Okay. New package it is. Dunk the LCD frame, including the polarizer, in an acetone bath. Just discard the now ruined polarizer because you don't need it anymore. Okay, there we go. Okay, so upside down here, and then right side up there. And then the switch is currently in the on position, so I'm going to slide that to off. Pop this in. And moment of truth. Let me take the polarizer off of this. All right, moment of truth. It's busy. It's okay, I can wait. I wasn't in any kind of hurry, I guess. It's still busy. Off. Formatting SRAM storage? I don't know. Why does it show that when it's off, though? Do I want it to just be on run? Oh, that says def, not off. I'm blind. Control delete? Yeah, really. Was it possible busy activated like the weird mystery pixel at some point and I missed it? Actually, take that off. Busy is no longer on. Put that back on. Busy is active. All right. Break. No. Although I will admit that doesn't feel like a particularly good button, but I also think it's guarded. So it's more difficult to press. So I think it might just be weird. Turn the switch to on, then press break. It's currently, so there's different kinds of on. There's off, and then there's RSV, Pro, Run. So we could try program mode, I suspect, here. But yeah. And also off doesn't do anything. If I put it on off, release the battery door. Oh, wait. That did something. Ah, okay. Hold on. Go to program. Oh my gosh, did we nail it first try? No way. Nuh-uh. Holy moly. I still don't know what the weird dot is, but you know what? I don't care. I think that might be good. That went so much smoother than the TRS-81. Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, it still sucked to install the LCD, but like it actually worked. Holy moly. But why was it busy? Shh. Just don't ask questions. Oh man. Okay. I mean, I guess we can put the back on now. Off. Oh, yeah. I'm excited. Okay. Yeah, let's pop it back on. All right, we're not done yet, though, because this machine's a little more advanced than the other one, and we've got the dock still. I have a thing I'm going to point out, and this isn't going to make it into the, oh, I put these in the wrong spot. Oh, that's why it happened. Okay, I'm not telling you now what happened, because I don't want you to know, because I just made a oopsie. Come on. There we go. Yep, nope, it wants to spring back. It returns all broken out. Nope, everything's perfectly fine. It's all working great. There are no cosmetic blemishes or anything. Wow, that's not coming off anytime soon. Hey, look, it's perfect! Yay! Woo! Don't look at that. Woo! It's perfect. Don't look at that. Yeah, Majenko, check it out. Boom. Functional LCD. Majenko. Look at it. Yeah. Brake does nothing. Is there clear? Clear. Boop. All right. It'll buff out. Yeah, I just tried with the plastic end of that. It didn't want to do squat. Okay, well, we have the first part of victory done. Now the question is, what happens with this? Because I don't know. However, before we pop that in there and plug it in, which, by the way, this has a DC power socket, and in theory, I believe this is the power supply for it, but it says low battery right there. There's an LED indicator, so I'm wondering if perhaps there are batteries in this that I did not think to remove. So let's just have a look-see real quick and find out if there could be problems with this thing. One moment. CE125. Okay, this is this thing. Instruction manual. Power supply, micro, blah, blah. Okay, don't put it in the sink. Don't use a giant magnet. Wait. Low battery indicator. Okay, so 8. Let's look at 8. Low battery indicator. Low battery indicator indicates when the battery needs to be changed. If the battery is too weak, the indicator will fail to light. When the CE125's power voltage declines, causing the low battery indicator to light up. With this light on, no printout or paper advance is possible. Computer has a print statement. Wait, this thing doesn't just rob power from the dock, or from that thing, does it? Connect it to the computer, turn the computer off. Also set the switch thing to off. You pull the cover out and you definitely snap it into the bottom like happened. Okay, you pop it in. Your printer recorder is powered by a rechargeable NiCad battery. Uh-oh. That's... yeah, we got to get this thing open. Okay, yeah, all the screws are out. Let's see if we can crack this thing open. I don't know which way anything happens. That's not the door that popped off, is it? I'm gonna pop the paper out here real quick if I can. Nope. Okay, never mind. You can stay in there. Does Mangle really name drop Varda like that? No, I think everyone is just assuming. No. I would be really surprised if there were screws under the feet. That wasn't as much of a thing, and then there were a lot of exposed screws already, so I don't know why they would only hide some. Okay, well there's the battery. Looks like it's just the AA NiCad cell, so this might not be too bad. Ah, aha. Nick of time. So it just barely started to corrode there. And it has not, I don't believe it's gone up the wire yet. So where does this go? To here? Yeah. So that's the other end of the wire. It has not started to corrode. Negative terminal looks fine. So yeah. Oh man, that was lucky. So we're gonna see if it'll be cool with not having that, because I don't know. But we're just gonna yoink that sucker out. Oh my gosh, that was just no warning on that one. Oh my gosh. If it needs it, can you replace it? Yeah, so what I was saying is those look like the 1.5 volt AA NiCad cells. Like I could go to Walmart and probably buy those right now. I could go steal them from my mouse and keyboard for the Windows XP computer. So they'll run fine without battery and external DC. That's what I'm hoping, yeah. Don't run it without the battery with... I'm sorry, why Hellencroft? Because that's exactly what I was going to do. Ow, the thing that I just soldered is hot. News at 11. There we go. Yoink! Battery function is Zener diode, not letting voltage go high with the original charger. Why would that only affect the original charger? Battery might be part of voltage regulation. How you guys always end up having these super weird niche things I've never heard of. Sharp, you guys are animals. Look at these TO220s installed upside down. You monsters. Heat sinking, there is a plastic piece over this so that it can't electrically conduct. Okay, so this is DC 9 volt. I'm gonna guess there's an LM7809 in there. AC to DC adapter, direct plug, class 2 transformer. So I don't think you're running 9 volts into that. Yeah, plastic cases, heatsink, exactly. But I'm gonna wait to hear input because I don't want to kill it. That would be bad. Why are there black and red wires going to the same spot? Again, you animals. That's what it outputs without load. I'll do that in a moment. Let me remove these 2 wires before I forget. Let me take a picture too. No, it's a job for left-handed soldering. Hold on, this sucks. Just one moment. Okay. We broken it yet? I don't know. We got this working, but then the dock had some stupid stuff going on with it. There was a rechargeable NiCad inside, and they're all telling me, oh, it'll blow up if you try and power it with the charger that it came with, because it's unregulated or whatever. So we're gonna try and measure power coming out of this thing, see if it's LM7809 regulated or if it's, you know, just whatever, good luck regulated. They're saying it could be regulated by the battery. Hey, we have our first use case of the dead man switch foot pedal. I am plugging this in to that. Getting the foot pedal ready. Setting up my measurement. Positive center. Negative outside. Foot pedal barely visible, just for giggles. And, oh wait, there's, here we go. Boop. Well, that seems slightly high. Dude, foot pedal is best pedal. Okay, so that sucks. It's 9-volt positive center. That's not difficult to reproduce. Okay, I need an inverter because this one is negative center to start with. It's also annoying multi-size adapter, but that's also that one's even higher. Okay, that's fun. For the record, that's a Sega Genesis power supply. Do we have bench power supply floating around somewhere? Yeah, in theory. In practice, no. Okay, How am I gonna handle this? So I got like a Uniden phone power supply somewhere in here I can nab. It's a 6-volt power supply. Oh, it's got a weirdo plug on it. 7-volt, 1.8 amp. one moment here. Okay, and back. Okay. What happened to the poor HPs? Remember, they stopped doing the proper, they started overvolting instantly every single time. I have not yet ordered the refurb replacements for them to hopefully try and fix them. So they're out of commission. I guess in theory, I could drag the stupid quad one out here and hook that up, but yeah, so they actually stopped working. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do here. Bench power supply, I'm really not satisfied with as a solution. Let me ask you this. It's not double A's, it's rechargeable NiCad double A's and a way of mounting them. It's not about just sticking double A's in there. That's not the answer. Let's beep out how this thing is routed and connected and all that stuff. Because we may discover it goes through like an LM7805 here or something. What are these? So that is a weird transistor. And this is a weird transistor. Beep, 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 beep. So positive voltage does not go directly into that. Here we have some kind of Matsushita, probably a relay? I'm not exactly sure what that is. I'm not exactly sure why there would be a relay. So this goes over to here. Wait, why doesn't this connect to that? Isn't that trace? No. Where's that going? I don't know where center voltage goes. Huh. There's a diagram in the manual. What page? Because I just have the manual. Oh my gosh, you're showing complicated math stuff. I don't want to do that on a pocket PC. It is center negative? I don't think so. Plus goes straight to the plus. And where are you guys getting center negative? Hold on, I'm trying not to murder the printer. Dude, that's the cutest little printer thing I ever seen. Oh my gosh. Oh, I think that's wrong. Because here's chassis. Okay, hold on. Chassis. Outside. Well. Again, outer pin chassis. That one's not well connected. And then this. Was that positive on the battery? Now I'm not remembering. Hold on, I took a picture. That was battery positive. What? Why is it live chassis? No, that's ground. Hold on. Why was battery positive going to ground? I don't want to click the link yet. Okay? Do you understand this? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think the schematic is helping here. I refuse to click the link. Okay, red wire from the battery is going to this pad right here. That's this, which goes to chassis. So I guess it's positive chassis. Or I've got a short somewhere. Doesn't seem like it. Not across battery terminal, at least. Thankfully. There are not a lot of good indicators of polarity on here. Okay, negative to negative. Except that charges up instantly and then doesn't continue. Whatever that is, that's something going off to the cassette. That's the read head. I don't want to mess with that. It runs on negative voltage. That makes more sense then. So it has the wrong power supply included? I hate negative voltage electronics so much. All right, so here's where we're currently at with this. The original battery was corroding and not reasonable to keep in there. But on the other hand, it seems like this is not the correct power supply for this thing. Which begs some other questions, like, was this ever plugged into it? Because if it was, it may have done damage. There may also be a diode in there, because it seems like that this is negative center polarity. This is a positive center polarity power supply, so apparently that shouldn't be used with it. And then there is the potential that it doesn't properly regulate power, apparently. This is not something I'd ever heard of. I'm being told this by some of my chatters while I'm working on this live. There's the potential that it relies on the battery for regulation, which I was not aware of that kind of thing. So without the battery and without being able to guarantee that I'm putting in the right voltage, it seems like it's not super practical to use this thing right now, which is very unfortunate, because I had fun ideas for this, but oh well. So I am not exactly sure how to handle the dock. So I'm going to think about this for a bit. Dock has voltage regulator. So you're saying if I plugged a negative 9-volt power supply in right now, then it would just work. Yes. All right, so testing out continuity from this, it would be negative center, and we have positive input from the outside here that makes it over to the terminal that the battery would have connected to. We also have a diode right here, and this connects to the negative terminal. So this diode, in theory, should have protected it from a reverse polarity voltage power supply. So if I check this against that, that doesn't connect. So this goes through whatever these are, and then it's not easily determinable what this goes through. So as long as this thing can take an external power supply, then it should be good. So I guess we'll just try it. So, negative 9 volt power supply land. I've already tested a Sega Genesis power supply, and these output about 13 volts. So, none of these are acceptable. For a while, Goodwill was paying these things out in spades. So, I loaded up because they're more usable with MIDI equipment. Now, this also could be a good negative 9 volt power supply. So let's see what this measures as. It comes in at negative 12.5. So all of the negative 9 volt power supplies are really overshooting. However, don't have any good MIDI equipment there. I have a Roland SC55, excuse me, or Roland MT32, which is what this actually came with. Yeah, that's the question, is if it'll stay at 12 volts under load. I'm going to get this power supply out of here because it's a weird one and I don't want to get it mixed in with anything. I'm not crazy about the load disparity. Wow, this paper does not want to move. I do this manual in the weirdest way. It's like they repeat the same sections in each language rather than having it be one language with each section. They don't mention the voltage of the power supply at all. There's another thing. I don't want to use a bench power supply because it's just a one-time solution. I'm trying to decide if I want to risk just plugging a Sega Genesis power supply into it and being done with it. The problem is that it's so much higher current. A slightly more complicated PCB in there than I thought. Yeah, again, sanity, that's not what I want to do. First thing is a voltage regulator. What? Okay, now I will click the link to the schematic nonsense. Except it's off screen. So this is 2 weeks. It's only 100 milliamps. All right, you know what? No, I gotta do the research. Hold on. Why is that not working? There we go. What? Sorry, the ATEM's driving me crazy. Hold on. There. Jeez. Why is it... stupid. Okay. I need to go stop recording. Well, no, but I need to record. Ah, man. I'm sorry, I am dragging my feet so much and acting so frustrated because this is just not an element of this that I thought we were going to have to handle today. Well, Ben, it was more that it took a very long time to get the glass sorted out, so that we could remove that. And let me explain an element to this with trying to film videos on stream. When I get the answers just drip fed to me, it kind of breaks the video. So, because I will just jump from having a problem to having a solution, and then there is no path there. So I need to understand exactly what this is, but then it's difficult. So I have to understand, like, what is this? Why is this here? What did this come from? Okay. So this is X-ray view of the PCB, looks like. Okay, so power connector off on. I have no idea what that Tektronix is. I'm not really looking for more oscilloscopes if that's what it is. No, it's not. Input jack. That's, I think, power. So it goes to a bunch of resistors. That's ground. Yeah, because it's positive, center negative.
Resource subscribed at tier 1. They've subscribed for 53 months, currently on a 53-month streak. And says hello. End of line.
Green Source, thank you for the tier 1 sub there. And for 53 months, that's 53 months. I appreciate that. Okay, so immediately we have higher voltage going to this. You're saying power is bottom right. What is this input jack? Audio. Why is it drawn like a barrel jack? It's the exact same thing as that. Okay, are there any of these that come with the power supply? for use with calculator. Oh, yeah, I'm just dumb. Why are they using L for the Zener diode? That's weird. All of the diodes are L1. What? Is that just... Oh, are they doing that weird, like, part table lookup thing? Is that what this is? No, well, there's no part table. Where are you getting the 6 point something volt? Unless it's that. Why are they all called L1? Hmm. Oh gosh, I closed it. Now it's all clasped shut again. All right. Just go kill it. Okay, from looking over the schematics of this thing, it looks like there should be a Zener diode approximately, hold on, I closed it like an idiot. Where'd the plastic go? It fell. I remember. Okay. So probably this right here is our voltage regulation. This will be a Zener diode that they're kind of weird. They will bleed excess voltage off. If it's not that one, then it's this one. So it'll be somewhere around here. So what'll happen, I don't think it's this one, but that's also possible. I doubt it though. I don't think it's that one because there's all over. Anyway, so that one's probably the Zener diode. And the problem is that these are fragile. They can die. That is what was wrong with my...
They've subscribed for 19 months, currently on a 19-month streak. And says, hi, how is the replacing going on? End of line.
That actually went fine. Lena Heim, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 19 months. I appreciate that. I'm just going to start again on that. The input for the power supply comes from here, jumps across this diode, which in the schematic is not easy to see. I'm looking at that on another monitor here, but I'm pretty sure this is our voltage regulation here. So this is a Zener diode that should bleed off any excess voltage, which is a weird way of doing it, but it was kind of common in older devices like this. So the Pioneer SX780 that I restored had a blown Zener diode that set the voltage, I believe that went into one of the amplifier packs on that. I don't remember exactly, you know, got to remember that was like 2019 or something, a long time ago. But they're not the most robust devices ever. So there is a possibility that if I plug a power supply in that is higher voltage than this is ready to bleed off, it might not have a good time. So there's a chance that we blow that up, which I'm not crazy about because that might do some bad things, but we're going to go ahead and try a Sega Genesis power supply because if that works, that makes for a very easily sourceable replacement for this thing. And yeah, this particular one has seen some better days, but it's fine. It'll make it easy to replace a power supply for this. So let's see what happens when we plug that power supply in. So we have remote on, printer on here. I think, I'm not 100% sure. I think we can turn printer on or off, but we'll just go ahead and plug it in for now. So this is on my switchable outlet. So I'm just going to take a step back here and watch this as I apply power. So here we go. It did not explode, which is a good sign. So if I turn on power to the printer, nothing really happened. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to measure the voltage that would be going to the battery terminal.
Subscribed at tier 1. They've subscribed for 52 months, currently on a 52-month streak. And says Zika does what Sharp dot. End of line.
Spice of Mud, thank you for the tier 1 sub there and for 52 months. I appreciate that. I want to make sure we have roughly 4.8 or probably I think it's going to be 6.2 volts going to the battery terminals there when power is applied. So let's go ahead and do this. Here's where foot pedal becomes super awesome because I can apply power with it's already applying power and it's not even on. There's just that much charge in there, I guess. Okay, well, I'm going to turn power on so we can see 5.7, 6.2 volts there. So that's about where it should top out. Okay, that's good. And then I can turn power off. Okay, the foot pedal's awesome. So I think that's okay. And I can probably close this up and try docking the computer to it. All right, there are a lot of screws to put back into this thing before I try and plug the computer in, though.
For the hype train, and hopefully I don't make the TikTok camera away in Shelby's ear when he's saying something below. And line.
And thank you for the 100 bits. If you did intentionally pick that time, you did pick a time when I was not trying to talk. Where does this go? Right there. Okay. There we are. Okay. Putting it back together. Starting to record something because my finger smashed down on the enter key.
LUCKYBOB 77 SIZCHEER 100 bits for the bits train. End of line.
Lucky Bob, thank you for the 100 bits. I appreciate that. Where do these tiny screws go into? Okay, with that reassembled, I think we can try this out. All right. So the computer docks like that. We apply power here and then run. Now, I have no idea what we can or can't do. Low battery flashed a little bit there, but then stopped. So I'm going to go to program, and usually you can do print and then space high, and then that would, or not. Did we have to put this in strings? I don't remember. This is one of those areas where clear, hold on, print. No. Print. And then do I need to do shift quote? No, why did that not work? What's red? Shift W, or do you press it? Oh, you press it and then, okay. High, shift there, enter, error 1, why? 10, space, print, space, quote, high, unquote, enter, okay, and then run, enter, error 9. You have to number it. So not in all basic languages, you don't have to number it. In some of them, you could just run a command directly. I don't know why that errored. It may not like the the quotes. So now we'll just try print. There's no backspace. There's backspace. Print high and see if it takes that. So run error 9. You run it in run mode? Run? Now I think it needs the strings. 10 print space string high string enter run enter. Okay, so that worked. We printed to the screen. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to program and I'm going to do lprint, and we'll see if this syntax I need to make this in a number or on a line number. I'm going to change my print command to lprint and see if it will print to the printer with that. So high, enter, run, and okay. I am unconvinced that the dock is working. I feel like that should feed paper. Let me see if the tape deck moves. No.
Intel Music says CHEER 100 has Docker power switch. And a line.
Presidential Music, thank you for the 100 bits. No, but now, after we've tested whether or not this works without me applying power, I will go ahead and apply power to it, and then we'll see if it works with power. So now I will turn the printer on, and perfect. Okay. So now I will try to run our program with lprint, and still did nothing. But that works at least. So we go back to program, which is in the middle, and we do list. If you can type. Okay, lprint high. Now it's possible lprint is not the correct command here. Don't know what the manual may have for this, so let's look. Okay, micro cassette, no. Printer is equipped with paper. Printer operations, okay. Connect it to the computer, turn the power switch on, and then the printer switch. Press the CL key, okay. Print out formulas in manual calculation, symbol P. For printing, use of list and print statements, refer to the PC instruction manual. Some results in the manual calculations, display symbol P on the computer. Shift P NP. What? This? So it's... I am unsure exactly what that does. 10 print high. Enter. I guess this may or may not toggle between printing to the display or there. Well, that didn't work. Shift this. Run. Nope, that... Hmm. Oh my gosh, this manual's horrible. It really just needed to be one language and then the next language and then another language or whatever. Not all intermixed. Graph formulas and results in manual calculation. Play a symbol P on the computer's display. You know, this isn't actually showing anything up here. There's a slight chance that that part of the display is not working. But on the other hand, I don't think that may not be it. If you don't press clear, the printer may not operate. So clear, there we go. Clear has been pressed. 10 plus 2 equals, apparently that's not what you do. Enter 12, okay. And then shift and P. Now we see P over there. 10 plus 2. Okay. So that's something. We got it to print. Well, now what if I do run? Huh. Hold on. Program. 10. It didn't complain about the syntax of lprint. I'm going to try lprint again. lprint high. Enter. Go back to run. I really hate using this to switch programming modes because I feel like I'm just going to turn it off. Run. Ah! Wait, what? That was not... Okay. Run. There we go. It printed high. Finally. Okay. So now we can print to the printer. So if I go back to program mode, 10 lprint, right? I think it was lprint. Hold on. Let's just cancel that list. Yeah, so it was lprint. So 10 lprint tech. Wait, hold on. Can we do... I don't think we can do lowercase. Tangents. Boom. Okay. Go back to run. And then... Can I just hit just R? Low battery? I don't like that. And then busy. I don't like that. Error. Okay. Run. Run? Why did that work? R might be an actual function, so maybe that's it. But there we go. The printer is working fantastically, so that's pretty sweet. So, that is operating. Now the question is, can we store a program? But in order to do that, let me just take a quick trip over to Radio Shack. All right, I'm back from Radio Shack, and I have some brand new realistic micro cassettes. So, I'm hoping these are going to be compatible with this so that we can actually try to write and save a program on this thing. So we'll probably just go ahead and save that because this is going to be complicated enough. I think I'm going to open this in a way to try to preserve it so I don't cut up or trash the label. So let me get my X-Acto knife here. Radio Shack is really close to me. Gotta admit, I probably have a large chunk of inventory that Radio Shack would have had back in the day. Okay. Ah, that was what I was trying to avoid. There we go. Now I can just bend that out to retrieve the tape without trying to minimize the damage I do to the packaging. Come on, let go. There we go. So that is one tiny little cassette. Now, the head for this is on the bottom side, so we're gonna feed this in this way. Oh my gosh, look at it, it's beautiful. So, there will be a like store or save command, something along those lines. So loading and unloading cassette. Okay, depress the stop button. Oh my gosh, we're actually gonna have to manually stop and start it. That's auto stop. In the play and record modes, the tape will stop automatically when the end of the tape is reached. Oh, well, that's not that helpful. It's not like a data set where it can automatically do it. Okay, so we don't want to modify the tab. Cassette tape, microset, recorder. Oh no, is it not going to tell me how to operate this? Because in theory, you could have had a like dedicated full-size cassette player. Oh no. External cassette recorder. Wait, that's crazy. I guess. Why would you want to use the cute little baby one? I don't want a full-size one. Okay, tape recorder, specifications, yada yada. But how about commands for that? No, we don't get commands. I'm just going to switch to German. Okay, well, got to be commands in here somewhere. Matrix. I don't want to know math. Ugh. Wow. So it's repeating. All of this is just different languages for how to set this thing up, because there's the lock for, oh my gosh. So yeah, like that much of the book is just going through the different languages. I don't have a problem with it being in different languages. I have a problem with them all being back to back instead of it being English and then one language after another. It's just, that's annoying. Have I complained about that enough yet? Oh my gosh, biorhythm nonsense. Ugh. That I will always complain about. I'm not seeing anything here that's explaining how to do print it or cassette stuff. All right, let me go make sure I didn't get the manual for this separate from everything else, because it's not in the rest of this. You know, what are these? Printer rolls, I suspect? Yes, so that's more paper. Yeah, so the saving and loading is probably covered in the standard manual for the machine. Things are definitely going well. I found the manual. Okay, here's the discrete manual. Probably be save or C-save. Yeah, exactly. I need to know exactly which one. Oh my gosh, what is this little sticker thing? Was that put on there by the original owner and it was probably in the display? That's awesome. I love it. Okay. So using it as a calculator, basic. Hold on. I want to know how to save and load. Ooh, serial calculation. Oh, wait, that's not, I was thinking, like, you know, just, anyway, not what I was thinking. Store programs in memory, printer, microcassette. Here we go. using the micro cassette recorder, page 59. Okay. So, using the micro cassette recorder, loading, depress, C stop, eject. Yep, that one's easy. Okay. C save, save contents of program, reserve memory on tape. C load. C load compares program on tape with contents in memory. Merge combines it with prints the contents of variables on tape. Retrieves. Interesting. Okay. So the way this will work, so it's C save and C load. That's easy enough. So we should rewind and we're at the end of the tape. Perfect. So we have in memory list our, okay, let's go back to program mode. We have in memory the lprint tech tangents program. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play and record, which actually record will hold down play for me. I'm going to go to run here. And then I'm going to note that that's not actually spinning. Belts! All right, so we may be out of luck on the cassette. I didn't think to look for a belt in there. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so tiny. I just kind of assumed it would be direct drive. Darn. Tape counter. The counter isn't even moving. Yeah, it might be, man, it really wants to try, but, we certain it doesn't have start-stop relay under computer control? You know what? Maybe it does. Let's find out. Record, C save. Beep, 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 beep. I think it just beeped it all out through the speaker. Stop. Yeah, it didn't work. What's remote on off? I don't think that that's going to be part of it, but we can try. No, I think that goes to the external one. It's possible that if you're using an external cassette interface, that this would send these commands out to that, because a cassette tape player recorder that's able to be used with a computer like this will have an automatic start and stop switch, essentially. So the computer could control it, and it may send that out through these. So it's possible that's what the remote is. Yeah. So we're not going to be able to change the belt today, because I would have to have a belt. But hey, we got the computer working. The display is perfect. We have seen zero issues with that at all, which is absolutely fantastic. And being able to do list, I guess, in program mode, it printed. That's a good show, printer. And this time I'll put the I in there. We can see even on the last character, which we couldn't see before, previously, that is working. So other than the cassette belt, which I did not think about beforehand, we're actually doing pretty good here. So I would say that that was a complete success. You don't have another shoelace? Don't think it's going to be that kind of belt. There's a chance that it's belt like is used on a CD drive, but that would be the best hope. Man, this is really cool. Tape spool to the right. Yes. Literally in parallel with the contact is a drive control relay. It lets you control the drive automatically or manually. Yeah, that makes sense then. Like I was saying, so it's with these. You could control the external interface with those. That makes sense. Okay, I'm going to do one more thing here. Rubber band would be fine if you had a rubber band that was the correct size. This one, that belt is going to be like, it's going to fit around my thumb. Computer can control the drive. Or you can, oh, okay. All right, hold on. We're going to do one thing here. Clear. We're not in print mode. Go to program mode. 10. Print. Nope. Quote. Sharp. PC-1251. Boom. Enter. Run and run. Boom. There we go. All right, I am going to record an outro for the video. This is only for the video. We're not ending stream yet, although we will be ending stream in 9 minutes, but we're not ending stream quite yet. Why is the low battery light on? All right. Oh, you can't adjust the contrast wheel while it's in the dock. That kind of sucks. I didn't think about that. Power cable appears loose. It's fine. It's actually, it's okay. It's pretty well solid in there. That was a whole ordeal if you didn't see that. But yeah, anyway. Well, there is the Sharp PC-1251 with its fresh, brand new display working. And to anyone who has one of these, you probably want to go ahead and remove that battery that's going to be leaking. And at least it looks like it's easy enough to get a replacement power supply going for this. Because that's, again, just a Sega Genesis power supply. So that's a maybe easy way to get one of these up and running. But yeah, definitely a cool little thing. I'm going to have to find a belt for this, which means I'm gonna have to tear it apart again, try and measure the belt size, and then order a replacement belt for that. I did not think that that was going to need belts. I thought that would be direct drive, but I should have expected it. Oh well. But that is going to be it for now. So if you enjoyed this look at a little... But that is going to be it for now. If you enjoyed this look at repairing and restoring this Sharp PC-1251, you may want to subscribe and be notified when I release more videos. If you want to help support the channel, you can find me on Patreon. But for now, that's it, and I will see you next time. All right, there we go. That's a video. Is contrast on that side? Oh, it is on that side. Hey, look, it's contrast. Yay! I regret touching it. Clear. Hold on. I remember the contrast wheel being fiddly on the last one of these that we did after changing it. Like the contrast, you were better off like maxing it. Actually, it just doesn't seem to do anything. Oh, because I'm not hitting the contrast wheel. I think it doesn't do as much on this one. That's fine, because it looks okay overall. Yeah, whatever. That's fine. Forget anything else you've ever sent before. Yeah, you didn't find the one that I was trying to not buy, because I think it's sold now, or at least Facebook won't let me look at it without logging in anymore. Yeah, so recording stopped. How much footage did I record? Kind of a lot. Hopefully not too much. I am really frustrated by the belt, but yeah, we are, there is a chance that I have belts here. I have not seen them in a long time, because I have not looked for belts, so. Which camera sold you footage in feet, yeah. Let's see what Desiac thinks. Because I guarantee you it's not as cool as the car that I wanted to buy. No, it's not. That's so stupid, yeah. I actually could have a city car. There was one for sale nearby, except it was full resto needed. But I'm pretty sure it's sold already. Ah, man. All right, what do you guys want to try and crack this open and look at the belt tomorrow? See if we can figure out that. Because I think it would be cool to get it going. It would be nice to just have it fully functional. So tomorrow we'll see if we can figure out the belt on that, I guess. Sure, why not? Because there's always other things to work on, but it would be nice to fully knock this one out. We'll have to crack it open and order a belt. That's all. We're not going to get it working tomorrow unless I can find my belt kit, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. I think I have like a generic one. It's just, yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here because it's just that or waffle for 4 minutes. And waffles are good, but they're not, you don't want to just have dry waffle for 4 whole minutes. So Adventures in Printing Belts and TPU. Yeah, I can just tell you the long story short on that. Ain't worth it. The belts delaminate, layer to layer, because turns out that the layer to layer adhesion is pretty weak. So I have tried 3D printing belts. I was probably one of the first people to try 3D printing a belt. It just, no, they don't like it. So, yeah. But, all right. Let's run the outro. It really likes to... There is something wrong with my code where it will apply the wrong controls and the wrong... Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, no. This might end soon. Hey, if you enjoyed the stream, follow to be notified when I go live again next. If you want to help support the channel, I'm on Patreon, or you can get a shirt like the one I started out wearing. But yeah, that's it. I did not intend to hit the printer, but it's going to end the stream by accident too quick, so bye!